Hey everybody, this is Aldous Collins. Thanks for tuning in to another Shine the Light session. Today we're really excited. I'm excited to talk to Noah Wilson Rich from Best Bees Company. And cool, right on time.
Hey.
What's happening? Sweet location, Noah.
Thanks. Well, it's just me and the bees here. We're a bit backlit how we're going to start, but then I'll switch it after I show you a little bit of the bees. So you'll bear with me in the morning.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm Aldous, and I'm really excited to talk to you, man.
Great.
So, I would just maybe we could start off by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, my name's Noah. I am a beekeeper. I am a bee scientist. So I got into this through school. I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I grew up. And so I just thought, biology was a cool class. I really liked animal behavior. I would sit around with my friends and my family and watch like National Geographic and Discovery on TV and figure like, wow, animal behavior, that's pretty cool. Maybe I can work outside. And before I knew it, I got a PhD in honeybee immunology, which was like way too specific to get a real job. So
you went to Tufts.
And went to Tufts.
PhD in what again?
Bees. Go figure. Yeah, in biology. And I thought that bees were a great opportunity to study because we need bees for food. And without food, we don't have fuel for any of the other big debates that we see in the news. We've got to all stay healthy to make the world a better place. And bees are dying. So I really wanted to make an impact there and then figure everything else could maybe fall into place.
I have a question for you. I love the approach and then the background as to how that happened. But where did you grow up and what were your experiences to actually fuel this type of interest?
Yeah, I was born in New York City. I grew up in Fairfield, Connecticut. I came to Boston for college. I went to Northeastern for undergrad. And I remember playing with my cousins on their rooftop playgrounds in New York City at their schools and thinking, as I looked across all the other rooftops, are those playgrounds better? Like, what's going on that rooftop? Do they have like a play space? Is there a park? Like, just wondering as a kid, we look at our windows and there's all this wonder in backyard biology. But as adults, we kind of lose track of that. We get so busy with work and traffic and struggles. And when I got older, I remember my disappointment in learning that other rooftops didn't have better playgrounds. They didn't have anything. They were vacant. And as I became a beekeeper and a scientist, I began to understand that there was so much life teeming on the top of buildings. Like there are tons of spiders on skyscrapers. Like you think about Spider-Man, but there's a lot of potential for nature to start to rehabilitate the environment if we just started to rethink what we do on rooftops.
That's a really interesting approach. And so you are the founding member or one of the founding members of Best Bees. Let's hear a little bit about this company.
Sure. Yeah. So Best Bees really started to take off and combine my interests. I'm going to take you guys on a field trip over here to look at some bees. But I started to combine my interests in nature and in behavior with figuring out how to solve big problems. So when we see things like empty rooftops and we see things like hunger, we start to wonder, like, why can't we connect the resources that we have with solving big problems? So when I was a student at Tufts, the first big recession of my adult life hit 2009. And I started to think, how can I make an impact by connecting all these things with people and people who want to help, maybe people who have empty rooftops, people who might want to get bees at their home gardens but don't necessarily want to do the beekeeping. So I started a Facebook page for free, right? Anybody can do this. If you know a little bit about something, that could make you a consultant if you start a Facebook page and charge $1 for the answer, right? So for me, I started Best Bees as a Facebook page in 2010. And I said, hey, we're selling beehives. I'll volunteer my time to manage them in exchange for research funding. Anybody want some bees? I thought it was so dumb, but 10 years later, we're now the nation's leading beekeeping service. So just like a pool service or a garden service, we're beekeepers for hire. And there's 70 beekeepers on our team now with Best Bees that are now across 22 states, over a dozen cities. And it's creating paying jobs for beekeepers to install and manage honeybee hives in our own local communities, whether it's Quincy, the South Shore, or California, anywhere else in between. So here you can see one of our beehives. I know I seem a little bit crazy because I'm like right next to it, but this is a big thing that's important for people to understand. Beekeepers don't want to get stung. We don't want to put anything aggressive in the environment at all. So these are gentle, vegan, they're actually Italian honeybees. So chill, good garden pollinators, great honey producers, and pretty cool to look at, and pretty relaxing to just kind of sit and sip some tea in the mornings.
Yeah, that's really cool. I have a question for you. Do you
Sure.
do you rear bees?
We do, yeah. So part of what our mission is to improve bee health. And in doing so, we're breeding what we like to say a better bee. So any beehives that survive the winter, like this one, I'm in Provincetown today. Provincetown, we've had 90% survival of our beehives year over year. The national average is about 60%. So when we're thinking about 40% of beehives are dying every year, it really becomes problematic because then we don't have enough bees to pollinate all of our food. It's like if 40% of people died every year, and those are the food producing people. I mean, it's really a huge problem. We're seeing food prices skyrocket. We're seeing the availability of healthy food go down. The cost of almonds has doubled in the past 5 years, for example, because honeybees are the only thing that are pollinating almonds.
Well, you must be making a massive difference with a company that has 70 beekeepers.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a big deal. It's a pretty amazing feat. It really is.
Yeah, it's been amazing. As we keep talking, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can enjoy these bees here. So
I love that you took us on site and you're giving us a little bit of a closer look. It's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I know that this is kind of weird to people to see, but that's what this is all about, right? The Quincy Urban Arts District. Arts is trying to shift perspectives and trying to broaden minds. So you can see here, these are all female honeybees. This one, she actually has the air conditioning on. Can you see her wings flapping?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what honeybees do. They have their own air conditioning system. They'll push hot air out. They will point their butts out. This is another air conditioning system bee. Let's see if I can get that on my finger. Right, pushing their butts away, pushing the hot air out. In the winter time, they'll cuddle. And so they have the queen in the middle of their warmth ball, and they'll eat honey for fuel. So there's so much amazing stuff going on in here, and it's been really rewarding to create jobs for beekeepers. A lot of retired people, a lot of young people, people from every background. Honeybees are this universal pollinator around countries worldwide, and so everybody can connect in some way to stories of honey, or maybe their grandparent was a beekeeper, or maybe some things that bees pollinate help them get some foods that are culturally important for recipes. So yeah, with Best Bees, we'll install and manage these. We'll bring them to your own property, harvest the honey for you. And each of the beehives helps advance our research, kind of where we started our conversation. So they're data points.
So I have a question. So
Sure.
if people want to explore working with you or having you work for them on their property, they can just reach out to you through Best Bees and just message you there?
Absolutely, yeah. bestbees.com. You see us at Best Bees on Instagram and social media. And it's really straightforward. Anybody who either wants a beehive but doesn't want to do the beekeeping. So a lot of companies will hire us to put beehives on their rooftops because it's a really small investment to make a big impact. You can share the honey with all the tenants, all the residents, with the greater community. So we've done events like with Fox Rock is amazing in Quincy in the South Shore. Boston Properties in Boston, where we give out honey to the community. If you custom label the honey, then there's a big impact for companies that want to show that they care about the environment and the community. And working with artists, you can even design different colors on beehives, corporate logos, and you can create jobs for artists as well as for beekeepers and really try to make a difference in the world.
Oh, really cool. Could you tell us about some of your spots in Quincy that you have?
Yeah. So with Fox Rock, for example, they're such a great client and partner of ours. So they launched 20 beehives across their portfolio just this year alone. So they really went all in. We did a great webinar with them. And
I saw that. That was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, they've been such a great leader. And thinking about a company that has resources like real estate in Quincy and around, and you can check out more about their locations and about their company and their values online with Fox Rock. When you're thinking about what you can do to be a good partner in Quincy, a lot of these companies and even homeowners have empty rooftops where we've got about 18 beehives for the Foxrock portfolio in the Quincy area. I think 8 specific ones with Foxrock in Quincy. And bees can fly 3 to 5 miles. So anytime there's one beehive like this, these bees are flying all around the neighborhood. So in Quincy, we're really able to hit every single garden. And anybody who wants to get involved to help the bees or to maybe become a beekeeper, there's great resources online, whether it's through bestbees.com or the Boston Area Beekeepers Association or massbee.org. That's the large statewide beekeeping club, to learn more about bees. But also anybody who plants a flower, that's really something that bees around Quincy, let's say from the Foxrock portfolio, they're able to fly and then pollinate, carry pollen from that flower to the next to help create seeds, whether those are food producing or whether those are just to get more green around the neighborhood. It really makes an impact. So plant some flowers, get some bees, or at least be open to this idea that Quincy's got bees all around town.
Yeah, so cool. You know, it's interesting. As I drove in today, getting ready for our little chat, I actually forgot that when I went to UNH for school.
Nice.
And I worked under a professor that did research, and he was an entomologist.
Cool.
So that's different than what you do, but the study of insects and their worlds, and we were trying to find like biological controls where it was like healthy stuff, but that the environment of working with the earth and what we have is a really beautiful thing. And I forgot how much I loved it. And no wonder why you seem so happy, because you're doing something cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be able to talk to you even about this. I mean, I'm so grateful that you're interested, that the Quincy Urban Arts District gives us a platform to help communicate with other people. Everybody eats food. Everybody has some creativity in them, whether that's just looking out the window and feeling that sense of wonder in our own yards, or whether that's looking at a beehive and thinking, maybe I can make that look a little different. I can add some color to it. So with bees, everybody can participate in any way. And even with science, that's what we do, and that's what I'm so passionate about. Anybody who gets a beehive with Best Bees, let's say, it's connected to research. So all of our 70 beekeepers, we enter data from our beehives with an app on smartphones that we write the code for. And what that means is that this is a NASA data point. It's an MIT data point. This has been published in TED with National Geographic. Every bit of data that we get, it goes to our nonprofit. It's called the Urban Bee Lab, or urbanbeelab.org. And those are ways that we start to promote what we call citizen science. So for the Quincy Urban Arts District, I love that we're talking about arts now. And what I'd like to contribute to the group in the future is to connect science with the art so that we can really all make a difference together.
I'd love to learn about how we can actually implement that and do it.
Yeah, it feels good when it's a community-driven process, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, it's like you said when you first started, you opened up your Facebook page, was like, well, you could be anybody can do it. But when you actually have the information and you can share and you can do some good like you're doing, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So life right now is pretty crazy. Yeah. And it's really nice to see something cool. Yeah. Did you see the flight of the bumblebee thing that we put together?
I haven't seen that yet, but I've...
Oh, man. You got to check it out.
Well, definitely check it out. Yeah, we'll promote that. I heard about it. Our team loved it. Yeah, tell me a bit more about it for people who didn't see it.
Well, the people that didn't see it, it was actually created by the team, inspired by some of the creative, cool people that I work with.
Yeah, it's a great group.
And, we did a video, and the idea was we were going to go up to some of your hives and video someone playing violin to Flight of the Bumblebee.
I did see that.
While being in the bee culture. Yeah. And just the idea is basically just, celebrating life and stuff. And I love how you, I actually, when I was watching your interview earlier, one of the really cool things that I like is you get a lot of people tuning in that are kind of new to the Quincy Urban Arts, which is cool.
Broaden the audience.
Yeah, but it's what I like is that you're bringing a very earthy, kind, happy spirit and we need more of that in life. And it's really nice to talk to you. Is there something that you particularly do? You're so involved with bees and honey. What is there some type of crazy recipe that you want to share with us? Something that you eat or daily, like our daily routine with honey?
Yeah, so I'll answer two ways.
Okay.
Today's hot, right? We're in August. If you haven't tried honey as an ice cream topping yet, you got to do. Have you done this yet?
I actually haven't done that. I'll do it though.
Let me tell you, it gets like chewy, and the different sugars that are in honey makes it a little bit easier for your system to digest. And
Yeah.
so honey as an ice cream topper is great. I also substitute honey for sugar when I'm cooking. So if a recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar, just do 1 cup of honey. So you can reduce your sugar intake while it still tastes just as sweet and a little bit healthier and a little bit more special because, it comes from your own beehives or your own community.
That's a good idea. Do you do honey in your coffee? Do you drink coffee?
Do not. I drink a ton of coffee, but I drink it black.
Oh,
I do coffee black.
You machine.
Yeah, coffee black, Scotch neat. But many people do, and I think it's just so special to know where your food comes from. So like from these bees, they're super chill.
Oop, you're cutting out again. Your spot's going a little fuzzy.
All right. This is the pandemic. We do what we can. Sorry about the connection issues. Can you hear me all right now?
You know what? It's all worth it. I mean, I think that we've gotten a lot out of you actually taking us on site, and I think it kind of makes us connect a little more, which we should be connected, and we should be learning more about these bees. It's really cool. Actually, so Co-Fine Art, I think he is the one that from New Hampshire said that Makuna honey just saved my husband when he burnt his leg with coffee.
Wow. Coffee. God. Yeah, so Manuka honey. It's
Manuka. Sorry, did I say it right? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a funny word.
Okay.
It's a funny word. So Manuka honey, it's from New Zealand, and it's known for its medicinal properties. One of the projects and papers that we published is about apitherapy. So all the ways that bee products help human health. So anybody can reach out to us, info@bestbees.com, if you want a copy of this. It's open access. It's a review paper. So Manuka honey has been very well studied, but all honeys help with wound healing. And in World War I on the battlefield, this was especially helpful when we didn't really have antibiotics or other medicines. So with open wounds, if you put honey on them, or for geriatric patients, this can really help with wound healing. Manuka has been very well studied, but all honeys will do this, especially Quincy honey.
Ooh, really interesting.
Yeah,
that's a really good one. I had no idea.
It's kind of like champagne. The government of that region of France says you can only call it champagne if it's from here. But all sparkling wines can be quite good. So Manuka is a thing from New Zealand, from the government. They've got a copyright on the name, but it's something that really can have honey in general has a lot of health benefits.
So I want to go back to one thing that I kind of overlooked when you were talking about, the hives on rooftops. And when the hives are on a rooftop, you said that bees can travel 3 to 5 miles. Is that right?
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
It's pretty insane. So what happens when you have, different species of bees? What does that mean when they're intermingling?
Yeah, different species of bees are actually fine. All bees are vegan. Mm-hmm. That's what makes them different from wasps, hornets, and yellow jackets. Especially at this time of year in late August, you've got wasps coming out. Wasps are the scavengers, the meat eaters. And so what makes bees gentle is that they don't have to kill to eat. They don't have to get their food from aggressive means. So when bees are confronting one another, we kind of picture it like a high five at the flower beds. Versus with meat eaters, yellow jackets, hornets, wasps, they kind of have to attack one another, fight for their food. And so that's another reason why we really like working with these bees. They're so chill and safer. So they really don't compete in other ways with other bees, especially in places like the South Shore, like in Massachusetts. There has been some research in areas that are deserts where there's limited food. But in our areas where there's a lot of flowers, it's all good.
Yeah, I find it really helpful to look at, and I'm sure the audience does too, we had a question from Co-Fine Art. Hold on one second. I just find it really helpful to see you with the bees.
Okay.
I think that it takes away. It's just nice to see, and it's interesting to learn about them. We have Co-Fine Art writing.
Mm-hmm.
Where can I buy summer harvest honey from you for my honey bar?
I love it. I love this. So with Best Bees, we wanted to come up with a business model that didn't compete with other businesses. So we didn't just want to be another honey seller. There's so many wonderful ones out there. So for us, we help people make their own honey. So if anybody wants their own backyard honey, that's what to go to Best Bees for. For buying honey from us, well, we do sell it at, for example, Whole Foods in Linfield or Olives and Grace in Boston South End. But we really try to limit how much we do because there's so many other great sources. So check out, if you're looking for local beekeepers, local honey sources, massbee.org or your local county beekeeping association. They'll have a great resource. The Norfolk County Beekeepers Association website has a lot of great resources for local honey producers or your own local farm stand.
Oh, well, there's some information for you. Go find.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I really, I'm glad that we got to talk today. I think you have a lot of great information. It's spiking my interest to learn some more. I guess I have one more question, or maybe two more. I think one. Have you ever done I don't know what they would call it, but have you ever worn a suit of bees?
Well, no. So a bee beard, I think, could be what you're thinking about when a person would have just a whole bunch of bees on their body, right? Is that what you're imagining?
Yeah.
So no, I haven't done that myself, but in my first TEDx Boston talk, if viewers want to go to TED.com and just look up Noah, you'll see I've got 2 talks posted up there. The first one, my opening and my closing slides are with people with bee beards. And I talk about that, and I hope that I shifted people's perspectives from the first one where it seems so weird. Like, what is that person doing, to the last one, which is, bees are important and it's nothing to be afraid of, and they're not wasps, hornets, and yellow jackets, but things that bring us food. So they're fun to watch. A lot of state and county fairs will do them.
Yeah, we'll check that out. Well, again, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, so bestbees.com. My name's Noah. We've got a great team. We install and manage beehives all around the South Shore, Quincy, the greater Boston area, Cape Cod, as well as 22 states. So check us out. Tell your friends. Consider either planting a flower, consider getting a beehive, or at least opening your mind so that others can do it and you don't hold them back from it. It's our future.
Well, awesome. Noah Wilson-Rich from Best Bees. You're the man. I really appreciate how you kind of brought us into your world, and I love the showing us the environment. And I look forward to meeting you in person. Maybe we can put together some other type of initiative that whatever. You reach out, and if you have something that you think would be great, we'll love to talk.
Let's do it. I love this mix of art and science. I mean, it's so inclusive. It's the way of the future. So thanks for your time. Thanks for this opportunity. It's awesome. We love Quincy and the South Shore. Thanks.
Oh, thank you very much. Awesome. Really nice to meet you. And great talking to you and learning about what you do. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Peace.